Gear, what to get and what not to get, what you can expect and what not to expect. First principles first. The first principle is simply this. You are going to get a very limited number of a certain drop on every monster type of material that you can get for gear. It's a 1% drop, so I have heard. So you need to be very, very particular about what you forge. And the chances are that you're probably not going to do so well trying to forge 2 items out of 1 set, which can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes you just do it anyway, but then be aware that you're going to struggle to level up those pieces. So what most people do when they're putting together war gear is that they're going to use a combination of things from different monster sets of these that you see on the right here, in order to make up a gear set that is good for a specific troop type. That's your war gear. Your growth gear is usually bound to a specific monster type, and you will want everything in that set. Some pieces are more important than others, depending on your priorities. Let's just run through them from the top down. Champion set, if you're free to play, forget it. You are probably going to manage to get one. Well, I've been playing for 4.5 years. And admittedly, there is a lot more free champion stuff available now than there was. But I've got a pair of green champion boots that give me march speed and something. I forget. It's like not super important. The chances of me getting any of those pieces to gold while I'm still playing this game before I retire are practically zero. So unless you want to spend a lot of money on your champion set, don't bother. If you do decide to spend on champion set, select one piece at a time to work on. Doesn't help you to have a lot of green champion gear. Go rather for one piece that's really, really good. And in fact, I have heard from very spendy players that you can actually do better than a full champion set by using some of the monster sets. That's all I'm going to say about champion. Necrosis set. I'm not even going to talk about these new monsters. Necrosis, Gorilla, Cottage Raw, Hootclaw. There's some really nice stuff in there. But I notice no free chests. No free chests. So that means you're going to be buying in order to upgrade these, at least until IGG decides to give these chests away for free. Number one. Number two, if you've been playing for any length of time, you don't have any of these materials to begin with. You're starting from scratch. So, you might as well just be a little brown castle when it comes to collecting them. I don't even hunt these monsters. There are pieces here that I want, specifically the level 60 pieces on all of them. But there's no way that I'm even going to try and dilute what I'm doing by going for Necrosis, Gorilla, Cottage Raw, or Hootclaw. There is some lovely gear there. If you're a little brown castle just starting out, by all means go ahead. I would then suggest to you decide what each of your war gear sets are going to consist of, and specifically hunt the monsters that will contribute to that, because otherwise you're going to be getting gear that you don't really need. Let's move on. Steam Path set, that's only for getting tier 5. Don't bother if you're free to play. That's my opinion. I don't know any free to play tier 5s. Maybe if you're in a massive guild that like showers rewards on you all the time, maybe it's possible. But tomes are like chicken teeth, and you need a heck of a lot of tomes to get tier 5. If you've got tomes, you're wondering what to do with them, rather go for your counters. Counter research is a game changer, it's vital. Max those counters. And then after that, of course, familiars. The higher up familiar battle research requires tomes. And that's another game changer that's really, really going to affect how you play. There are some things I've done on the tier 5 tree just because they're nice. But I would not recommend that you push for tier 5 if you're free to play until you've maxed your counters, and until you're quite happy that you've got enough familiar slots open. I don't, and I'm still short of tomes. Hardock set. I don't like the set. I do like the training speed on the Craggy Greaves. Very hard monster to hunt. Very hard pieces to level up. I don't hunt Hardocks, I'll be honest with you. I've managed to get, well, a friend of mine actually borrowed my account for a while, and he decided he wanted to give me forging speed because he wanted to show me like how great the gear was. So he got me the course helm. I would have gone for the Craggy Greaves knowing what I know now. But I've gone for them now, and I kind of got 2 pieces green. Neither of these is actually going to affect your battle ability. Voodoo Shaman, everything here is important for your packs merging. But bear in mind, the packs merging ends at a point. I've actually got to the point where I'm very, very close to being, maxed my tier 4 familiars. And then after that, what's the point of all this stuff? So I don't actually even like Voodoo Shaman in Tycoon, because I'm running out of uses for this. So yeah, Voodoo Shaman set, absolutely go for it. I would prioritize here not merging speed, because what generally happens is that you forge that you merge pacts a lot faster than what you can upgrade your familiars. So I would absolutely go for familiar training XP boost all the way. Kind of holding out for bone staff to purple at this point. I think all gold. I can't remember. But it's also, yeah, I wouldn't say super important. That is strictly growth gear. But yes, you do want it all. You want it all. Decide what you want. Start even with the lower level stuff if you want to. Normally, I would say start forging the level 60 gear, even before you level 60. But with Voodoo Shaman, it's not so important. Hunter set used to be strictly pay to play. You could only get hunter gear by paying to play, but that has changed. You can get hunter chests in your Guildfest, and I have seen people with full purple gear purely from Guildfest. Never bought a hunting pack ever. So by all means, go for it. Again, I would go. A lot of people like the march speed. They're like, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. I prefer damage. It's your call. If you want to go fast or if you want damage, I go for the damage dealing pieces. As quite a small castle, you should be able to get hunting mace already. Won't be legendary, obviously. I can't even get mine legendary yet. But my smallest one has got that blue or purple. Can't remember. Okay. So, Tidal Titan set. Now, I've discussed Tidal Titan set with a lot of people. And most of them agree that the Storm Tacet, the legs, is the only thing really worth having. And that's really kind of a balance for your Sleep Without Shield set. Yeah, excuse me, I'm going to cough and I'm not going to edit this out. So I'm going for Storm Tacet. My Storm Tacet is purple. I'm shooting for gold. I'm not worrying about any of these other pieces. Yeah, I've heard that, the accessory is good for infantry attack. I'm not convinced. Storm Tacet, as far as I've been told by payers who do pay, which I don't. I pay a little bit. Don't pay a lot. They all say, if you're limited on your materials, go for the Tacet. And let's just have a look there. Okay, we'll take it to the gold so that we don't have to worry about embers. And by the way, embers are precious. Please do not waste embers on things like Lost Island Ring. Seriously, unless you're really, really spendy and you're going to be buying the things. This is what I mean. This is the 1% drop. This is the rare one. It's usually over here on the left. There are some items that don't require the 1% drop that are worth forging, but not in the set, as far as I'm concerned anyway. If you've got a different opinion, go for it. Bon Appetit is a beautiful, beautiful monster. I would absolutely, and you can ask anybody, they're going to agree, that cups, the ambrosial cup, is the most important one. Don't try and forge 3 at once. I've heard people say work only on 1 at a time. But once you get 1 to purple, if you're low budget or free to play, once you get 1 cup to purple, it's going to take a long time. I avoided the word there. It's going to take a long time to get that thing to gold. And I actually found that I could do better than my blight ring, I think it was, if I had a blue cup. So I have a purple cup and a blue cup. And that, the spendy guys will say work on 1 cup at a time, take it up. Definitely play Tycoon when there are halos. Cup is super important. It's an absolutely beautiful piece. Infantry and ranged, you can't do better. So go for it, but it's super hard to upgrade. There are other nice pieces in here, but I wouldn't bother with them. The only one that I would bother with, while you're still a small player, not yet level 60, and you want to do a little bit of fighting, is Indulgent Visage. And the main reason for that is Angelic Plume that's here on the left. That's not a very rare piece. It's not a very rare item to get hold of. As you can see, I can forge a gold Indulgent Visage if I want to right now. I'm not going to. The piece, the item that you want to save here is the halos. That's the one that you absolutely want to be very, very cautious how you use your halos. For the rest of the materials, you just fine. If you want to have indulgent visage, it's not great piece. But if you're small and you just want to go and burn some brown and purple castles, maybe a few small small castle 25s, it's fine. Okay, let's go quickly here. Queen Bee set. The Bumble Helm is absolutely awesome. Back in the day, Hardened Carapace was the top chest for Cav Ranged. That changed with the new monsters. As I said, I'm not interested in them. So I got my Hardened Carapace up to gold. If you're old, I would think of doing that before going for the Bumble Helm. Otherwise, just go for the Bumble Helm. It's the best piece. Level 60 every time. You can forge those pieces before you level 60. Do it. In this case, you only looking at Firewall Plate. That's the only piece that you really, really want to forge out of the set. Make a Trojan. Blackwing set, Dragon's Talon all the way. I made Dragon's Iris, I regret it. Dragon's Fist, yeah, I think it's got March speed on it. No, it doesn't. I made Dragon's Fist on my baby, and I'm kind of sorry about it because I did use some of that rare thing, that eyeball thingy, that you don't want to waste. So definitely go for the Dragon's Talon, even if you're not yet level 50, level 60. Here you want the Beast Helm, absolutely brilliant piece. I've got mine to purple. You don't necessarily want anything here except the Ivory Choker. And again, the reason for that is that it doesn't use the rare item. It uses a common item that you get fairly easily. You can make that when you're small. It gives you March speed. You'll see huge guys using it. You'll see Titans using it. It's just for March speed, really. Your war gear, definitely the Beast Helm there. Nosferatu set, you want them all. I like the Lance, best of all of the pieces there. Construction ends, research never does. Grim Reaper set, Eternal Codex every time. Don't think there's nothing else in here that's nice. Only the Eternal Codex. Helldrider set. A lot of people used to like Burning Scrolls back in the day. I don't. Theoretically, that's quite nice defense gear, but Skull Crusher, definitely worth forging. It's got that 20% army attack if you ever get it up to gold. It's kind of hard work. Go for it. There's nothing else really in there that's worth doing. Mega Maggot set. I've done the Blight Ring, and I've been told I'm probably not going to use it in the future, but really there's nothing else of interest here, so you might as well use it for Blight Rings. Shove in a couple of jewels, and it's not terrible. I reckon of all the pieces, probably not all that hard to level up compared to some of them. Here you definitely want the Gargantua belt. Again, we're looking at the level 60 piece. Are you seeing the pattern? The one exception here is that you definitely want fear drums. You want for your cavalry attack. And yes, it does use that rare item, but you want that. You really do. Go for fear drums. Go for 3 of them. I would also level them up one at a time, at least till they're purple. Ideally gold. And then, yeah, Gargantua belt you also kind of want, but that's really only cavalry legs. So I would do the drums first. They're so much easier to level up, and they just make a huge difference to your cav attack. Terrathorn set. Now here, yeah, the Terra Shield is a really, really nice infantry piece. I will say I'm not a major infantry fan. So yeah, I haven't got a Terra Shield. I have gone for Terra Vial. It's, again, an accessory, so you can use 3 of them at a time. But if you get your cups up a little bit, you're going to stop using your Terra Vials, so yeah. Terra Vials, stopgap. And if you're ore farm, definitely. It's quite nice ore production increase on there. I've got 1 legendary Terra Vial. Sort of fits into my infantry set because I don't have 3 cups. But if I had 3 cups, it probably wouldn't. Wormbone Coronet. Definitely the only thing you want to really, really worry about here. I mean, I don't have this thing. Yeah, it doesn't use the super rare items. So, if you want to just get some stopgap stuff, that's potential stuff. But the main thing you want there is the Wormbone Coronet. Definitely for your ranged set. Snow Beast set. Everything here is Come Zero Me, please, except the Winter Mitts. You do want the Winter Mitts. Mine are purple. Parker Stompers. Seriously? Theoretically, the Winter Stompers, the legs are pretty good while he's still small. Doesn't use festive bell. So yeah, you can take them quite far. Definitely don't bother with the Parker. Winter Mitts is the piece that you want, and it does use that rare item, the festive bell. Griffin set, yes, you want it all, but you first want your Griffin walkers because of construction and research boost. After that, worry about Griffin's Talon. It is easier to upgrade, but it only really gives you construction speed. So, and construction ends at a point. Frostwing. I love Frostwing. Frostwing Greatsword. Definitely. If you pay to player, you're probably going to discard your Frostwing Sword at some time. If you're free to play, I'm not so sure. I've managed to get my Great Sword to gold. I'm not 100% free to play. I bought a couple of Material Madness, but not a lot. The Frostwing Shield, I think, doesn't use the rare item. So that's kind of another stopgap piece that you can forge without wasting stuff. And that you can use while you're still small. Don't bother about anything else there. Wait for your great sword. Start forging it before you reach level 60, because otherwise you get to level 60 and you don't have any other nice stuff. So that's it. That's just a very quick overview of gear from Monster Materials. There is also gear that you can make from regular materials that you gather off of resource tiles. Feel free, go bananas. You're going to have, within a period of time, you're actually going to end up with way more of that stuff than you can ever use anyway. So feel free with stuff that you can forge from those common materials. Of them, I'd say the Lunar Flute is the most important because of research boost. So that's it. Gear. Bit of war gear, bit of other stuff. But those are the pieces worth forging, and don't bother about anything else. Not if you're free to play.